Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today, I'm going to talk about Gorn Eviscerator, or like I call it, Excelsior. Surprised I actually got it right that time. Yes, I unlocked it yesterday, Thursday, as I assume most of you did, if not all of you. Depends on how long you've been playing the game. If you've been playing the game for the last 14 weeks or whatever it was, you should have it. I also was able to unlock the NSEA Protector. I'll do videos about that. Tough getting the ships at the same time. Also tough when sometimes your refinery doesn't seem to want to work, which happened this morning while the Upgrade Protector event was going on. So, didn't get a good placement in that, or as good as I would have liked, because it decided to give me the refinery an hour later. The Excelsior. It is, to a certain extent, I think it is somewhat valid, because look at this. 50 seconds to get out there, not too bad. You click the button, and then, bam! 3-second charge time, and you're there. Oh, I missed that. While I do use my discovery a little bit still, just not as much because of the warp range challenges. Now let's take a look at the crew I'm using right here. I'm using Picard, Beverly, Naismith, and I have Hugh and B'Elanna Torres below deck. Notice I do not have any isolytic officers. I want to establish a baseline for how much you're going to get. Yeah, some of the research is going to play a lot, but closer to baseline of what the ship does itself. Then maybe we can tell, or maybe more I can tell, because the ship's been out, and I know people have done a lot of how-tos on this already. Does somebody like a Janeway or Data or what's her name below deck, do they further increase off the ship's ability? Like, does the isolytic cascade count towards the ship ability? I think it does, but we'll see. And I also wanted to give you at least 3 options for crews. Because the ship does so much damage itself, think about it. Do you need extra damage officers? Well, I mean, that's debatable. So can you go with somebody like Picard, Beverly, and Naismith for maximum damage mitigation, or at least high damage reduction / mitigation? Is it maximum? Who knows? Now, yes, I am hitting the 51s. You don't have to a certain extent. I'm just doing it because I know I can kill several of them, but not like 100 of them. So it will force me to stop at some point. My Gorn Eviscerator is tier 3 already. No, I didn't buy any packs. It's just, it's been that long, and I've been doing the pulls fairly regularly, so I was able to build up a stash of Excelsior parts. I don't know what the fuck they're called. Oh, blowed up. Therefore, I'm not stuck at tier 1. Hopefully you guys are as well. Alright, so let's repair that. Since we don't need to worry about warp time, what did I kill? Oh, these were actually Q trials, I think. Gorn Hunters and Q trials, yeah. Yeah, I only killed 5. It's fine. I don't care. Take a look at the loot. Kind of a lot of Apex ISO matter, which is cool. I think. Kind of. You can see right here, 4 million on the shot, 2.8 million mitigated. Well, 400,000 times 7 is 2.8 million. So got about 70% mitigation, maybe a little bit more than that. Take a look at here, my shot here. Yes, it was a critical hit, but 2.7 million and then 136 million. Let's bring up the calculator. Is the calculator's going to come up? Does it not want to do anything? Oh, quite cool. Just like randomly do things instead of doing things that I tell you to do. Damn tool bag. God, I hate computers. Okay, so let's put... So about 6.5 times. I probably could have done that in my head, but whatever. So I get about 6.5 times. It's about 650% isolytic damage. Which I think the ship ability was 590. So I get an extra, what, 60, 50, 60-ish percent from my research. That's kind of a lot. Okay. Mitigating some isolytic damage. Not that much. About a fourth. A little more than a fourth of it. Maybe a third of it. Almost a third of it, I think. Yeah, that's not terrible, I guess. Or maybe more like 40%. Yeah, maybe like 42% isolytic defense. 1 million damage reduced with Apex Barrier, which is cool. Leading up to 400-something thousand to the hull. And I was able to kill it in the first round. To a certain extent, a lot of that is because of the critical hits. Somewhat disappointing. But it is what it is, I guess. So let's do that. And let's swap out Naismith. Try Enterprise Data. Now, mine is maxed. I'm sorry if yours are not, but with all the event store, with all the shards I got from an event store, and then all the random events, or even tiny little pools, I've been able to get them to max. Another 40% isolytic cascade is pretty fucking awesome. Let's go kill things. Bam. Now, I mean, it's 300 a trip there, which is okay. Come in here to the little daily drip and it says 3,000 is your cap. I mean, 30,000. I'm sorry, 30,000. So you could do like 100 trips. I mean, you don't get 30,000 a day, but interesting. We'll see. I mean, have to get the warp range up to see how much it is like the Discovery, or maybe better, but to a certain extent, I think it's going to be okay. Maybe. For itself, it definitely seems really good. Oh, I was not expecting that. Really? Wow. Thinking about the critical hits, I guess. Wait, really? That's... Oh. I mean, okay. Yeah, however. That's odd. That is odd. Really is. But not completely all for naught. Again, I didn't get the critical hits, so that is kind of what hurt me there. If I'd have gotten the critical hits, it would have been different. But to a certain extent, then, you know, don't go out to the 51s, go with something smaller. I did want this to go relatively quickly, so this is helping. But take a look at the damage here. Got 3.4 million regular shot, and I get 45 million isolytic damage. How I didn't win that, I don't know, but whatever. I kind of would like to see what... I mean, I wish it would have critical hit. I would have liked to see what it was with a critical shot. But, I mean, it's fine. So, I mean, based on that, Well, let's bring the calculator up again just to see. I mean, without data, it was like a 6.5 multiplier. What is this here? I mean, it's big. It's a 13.2 multiplier. 13.2. I mean, he straight up doubled it with data in there. Doubled it. Doubled the isolated damage. I do want to check. I would like to check to see a critical hit to see if it's close to the same. But okay, I killed it that time, so that means I had to have gotten a critical hit. Either that or he didn't get. Wow. Again, that's a problem when you don't get a critical hit. Because look at my hull now. It's like I didn't take any damage. So weird. So odd how it can vary like that. Same one got me again. Oh well. Yeah, see? Critical hit right here. That is not the button I wanted. I wanted the calculator. Thank you. 297 million isolated damage. Holy shit. That's a lot. $13.2. Again, okay. So there is that. Your critical hits are not increasing your isolated damage. It's more. It's not affecting them directly. It's more like the critical hit is affecting your normal shot, and then your isolated damage is calculated off of that normal shot, whether it's a critical hit or not. Pretty sure we knew that, but now it seems like we even further know that. And it also seems like, you know, the coding is going the way it's supposed to anyway. Yeah, I mean, I really was hoping not to die this quickly, but whatever. It's fine. However you like. Third option you may want to try. Janeway. To a certain extent, you may get a little less isolated damage, but you are getting much more defense because you get hit. It's going to start sending a lot more of that damage to the shields. Which is the crew that I have been using. Go kill the guy. Thank you. Let's see if I can, third time's a charm. No, he killed me again. But again, I just built this thing. Should I really be expecting to kill the 51s? Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I do kind of want to look at like I killed like a whole bunch of them with Naismith on there. Is that just because I got critical hits that many times? Need at least one critical hit to actually be able to do it. Because the damage is just so big. You get your critical damage multiplier, and then you get the isolitic damage multiplier on top of that. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I get a critical hit every single time. And then you come to this one, I probably did not get a critical hit. I did not get a critical hit, and that's why I died. So yeah, to a certain extent, I should probably be going a little lower. Maybe. Can't think of it. Where the Where are you? Here you are. Let's just go one system lower and see how much better that goes for me. Excuse me. But I do want to check out the isolytic damage. I'm curious who's doing more, right? It is food for thought and all that. And I know you can't see the calculator because I have OBS is projecting the window that is Star Trek Fleet Command, not a whole desktop recorder. I mean, I like it better this way. The problem is I can't show you the calculator. Not that that's a bad thing. Okay, this says 11.2 multiplier. So, obviously not as good as the data. But it's odd that she's not activating that much. She did activate, but how did Janeway not get to 0 on the hull? Odd. Oh, well that's why. Shield's depleted. That might be why. I said it was an option. I didn't say it was the best option. There are options here. You can do whatever you like. This is going to go a lot better. I've killed these guys. They got nothing on me, which is why I wanted to go to the 51s, because these 49s are just so weak. It's just weird how big of a gap between the 49s and the whatever. Now, I almost forgot to explain this, partially because I forgot that it existed anyway. Why Picard Beverly and not Pike Moreau? Again, don't use Pike Moreau. It's going to go away, isn't it? I know it's going to go away, so let's click this now. Take a look at the ship abilities. That's the wrong ability. This ability. The way Pike Moreau, really Moreau works. Pike, and his synergy with Moreau, it's going to boost your shit, but it's really Moreau. Her ability is it reduces the piercing of your opponent. Therefore, the effect of that is you and your ship mitigates more. Beverly, what she does is she boosts your mitigation stats. And what that does is allows you to mitigate more damage from your opponent. Essentially, two sides to the same coin. Two coins to the same side. Whatever. Getting to the same place, but in a different route. Another way of skinning a cat, I guess. But the problem is here, shipability. You got to notice this. Much like freebooters have increased piercing, which is why we don't use Moreau against freebooters. Again, though, Pike Moreau and that boost ability of his captain, but it will work. It's just the mitigation isn't going to work right there because all piercing stats are increased by 500%. Therefore, Moreau just doesn't have enough oomph to get rid of that. So Moreau doesn't work. Disappointing. And yes, I did completely forget about this because I used Pike Moreau. And then I went and looked at it because I got my ass kicked. And I said, why am I only mitigating 25%? Like, what? Did they break it? It was like, oh, ship abilities. Yeah, I totally forgot that. Because for so many years, your hostiles didn't have ship abilities. And now all of a sudden they do, which is awesome. Alright, so wrap this up here. Important things to note. Yes, Rhino is going to be starting his, I'll call it a playlist. I will call it a Gorn Eviscerator playlist. It may even throw some of the old Gorn videos in about how to kill them and such. Hopefully the piercing thing is in that video. Kind of shitty if I didn't mention that at all. Not going to go over the refinery yet, but I'll do that at a later date. This video is getting a little long. Really doesn't need to go any longer. Important things to note here are Moreau is not going to work. Pike's captain ability will work. So Pike Moreau can work in that effect, but Moreau's officer ability is not going to work because the hostiles have increased their piercing, and it just counters Pike Moreau. Picard Beverly is going to work. It is going to work. You are going to get max mitigation, or if not very close. You know, if you don't get that 71.2, then you're going to get 70%. You know, you don't get that last 1%. It's fine. You'll be fine. Who else do you use with Picard Beverly? Well, you got options. Picard Beverly Naismith. Picard Beverly Data. Janeway Data Beverly. Depending on how many slots you have below, right? If I have 3 slots below, I can put Torres, Hugh, Paris below, and throw Naismith over there with Janeway. Maybe. Though at the same time, you look at these assholes are barely damaging me. Probably because there's a huge gap between the 49s and the 51s. Just gotta punch lower. I mean, I'm just starting out with this ship, so it should be okay. We'll see how long it takes to get even higher. Hopefully you have been doing the pools this whole time that you've been waiting to free-to-play acquire this ship, and you're not sitting there at Tier 1. I'm sitting here at Tier 3. Comment below. You have any advice for anybody else out there that's just getting their Gorn Eviscerator now? Assuming you've been playing around for it a bit. What do you think about this ship? I do kind of like the instant warp ability. Now, I haven't played around with the summon ability or rip or whatever the hell you call it. I'm kind of liking it. I still don't like that they got rid of the Discovery or, you know, made the Discovery paywall, but I almost feel like this can be a suitable replacement. Took people a while to get it. It really did. It took too long. It absolutely did. But they're going to like the ability. So please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.